What it is, guys, this your boy Big Ace 2112, man, and I'm about to do a video on 3 disturbing real basement horror stories, man. And this is by Mr. Nightmare, man. I know a lot of y'all already done watched Mr. Nightmare's videos and whatever, but I'll always be sure to head over there anyway, man, and watch them. Whoa, 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 whoa. I gotta stop right there. I have watched a lot of Mr. Nightmare's videos, man. I have watched a lot of them, you feel me? A lot of them have scared me. Anyway, man, we finna get into this, man. Lou.
When my grandparents passed away, instead of my parents selling her house, they just let me live in it instead since I was of moving out age anyway. I just had to pay the taxes and monthly expenses. At first, I really enjoyed living alone, given that I could have whoever I wanted over whenever I wanted. But it quickly got lonely being alone, so I got myself a 2-year-old German Shepherd dog named Rocky.
Bruh, I had a German Shepherd, man, but she died, man. I wish I would have got her bred so I can have some puppies, man. Man, my dog didn't want nobody playing with me, though. She really didn't. She didn't like no kids whatsoever, man, bro. But like I said, man, I love German Shepherds. I love German Shepherds and Huskies, bro. Want one, I suggest you get one because they real useful, man.
He was named after Rocky Balboa. Rocky's a very calm and gentle German Shepherd. He hardly ever barks, only when he feels threatened or if he's playing with another dog.
See that?
I bought him a doggy bed the day after I adopted him and put it next to my bed. After I got Rocky, I always left the bedroom door open so that he could go get water at night if he were thirsty. One night, soon after I adopted Rocky, I woke up to his barking coming from outside my room and down the hallway. I dizzily got out of bed to check what the hell he was barking at. I rubbed my eyes as I walked down the hallway, and when I opened them, I saw Rocky maniacally barking and clawing at the basement door. I didn't know what to do. Usually I'd call my dad to deal with something like this, but now it was on me, and I was terrified. I had to ask myself if I wanted Rocky to go down there with me, and I quickly realized there was no chance of me going down there alone. I opened the door ever so lightly, but it was enough for Rocky to push it open with his nose and run down the stairs. I flipped on the lights and followed close behind. Rocky was silent now, which I found a bit concerning. I looked around for him, calling his name, and then I saw him standing still, with his tail between his legs, looking up at something in an opposite corner of the room that was blocked by a wall. Rocky looked at me, and his tail slightly raised as I approached him. I could now see what he was looking at. It was a closet door. Rocky's apparent bout of confidence was obviously short-lived, and he seemed to be back to his calm and...
Okay, bro, I'm scared. But we finna finish this and check it out and see what's gonna happen, man. Yeah, I'm curious and scared at the same time, bro. I had chills. You feel me?
In itself, all that was passing through my mind at that moment was, do I dare open this closet door right now? And who or what could be in there?
You better buy a gun.
I didn't know Rocky too well just yet, but I had a feeling he wouldn't attack whoever or whatever was in there. I'm still not sure whether I made the right move or not, but instead of opening that closet door, I took Rocky by the collar and walked with him back upstairs. He kept looking back at the corner of the basement until we got to the stairs. I shut the basement door and then dragged him back to my bedroom and shut the bedroom door. Then I went to the kitchen to call my dad. I had to call 3 times before he finally picked up in a groggy voice. I explained the situation and asked him what I should do. He said I should go back down there with a huge knife or some kind of weapon and see what's in the closet. I told him I was too scared to, and somewhere deeper into that conversation with my dad, I realized the basement door was open. I put the phone down for a second to listen to what I thought were footsteps, and I was right. Loud and clear were footsteps heading towards the front door. I ran to my bedroom and told my dad. He told me to hang up the phone and call the cops, and so I did. By the time the cops showed up, though, whoever was in the house was obviously gone already. Unfortunately, I left a large amount of cash down there by the bar. All of it was gone. The basement window was wide open, so we found the method of entry pretty quickly. Just turned out to be a break-in burglary when I happened to be home.
See this, bro? If you stay by yourself, man, always have some type of weapon with you, man. Especially if you like buy a brand new house, man. People will think that that house is vacant. So, you feel me? They will actually go in it. Like I said, always have a weapon or something with you, especially if you're a female, just staying by yourself, man. All females should have weapons with them, man. Any kind of type of weapon. We're gonna hear one more story, man. You feel me? Cause I'm actually scared, bro.
This story took place just 2 weeks ago. I've always had a fear of basements since I was a kid. Now that I'm 18, my fear is obviously...
The pictures and the music that goes along with this is the thing that scares me. I wasn't just abusing myself, just to let y'all know.
Subdued a little bit, but I still will glance over my shoulder to any noise I may hear behind me. And I might get that slight butterfly in my stomach feeling when I'm alone. Well, on this cold Friday night, I was home alone, and since our biggest TV is in the basement, that's where I'd usually chill, especially to play video games.
Bro, that place is junky.
I was playing Fortnite with my friends, some crazy popular first-person shooter game. I had headphones in and I was really invested in the game, yet even over the loud sound effects through the headphones, I knew I heard something come from behind me, like a thump. I took off the headphones and examined the back of the basement. Now our basement is huge, but also extremely cluttered and messy. If I wanted to actually thoroughly examine what's behind me, I'd have to get up, that's how bad it is. But I didn't feel that were necessary. Yeah, I found it a bit unsettling any time I heard a noise, but I really didn't think it was anything to be concerned about. I tried to continue playing, however I wasn't able to give my full focus anymore, not with part of me constantly thinking about the noise. I took off the headphones and played with them off just because I was feeling extra paranoid and wanted to hear my surroundings. Shortly after taking off the headset, there was a sudden clank sound, and it had a metallic, echoey ringing to it. I turned off the system now because I was in shock. This was an intentional sound made by someone or something. I walked really, really slowly to the backside of the basement. When I laid eyes on the big metal air vent in the corner, that's when it hit me, that was most likely the source of the sound. I got as close as I felt comfortable, then stopped and just looked at the air vent for a second. I got a terrible, painful feeling in my stomach, and I felt like the life was literally being drained out of me when I saw a hand reach out from the air vent and start waving me over. Then a deep, raspy voice said, "Come here, I need help."
You know what, bro? Like I said, buy a weapon. Whoever was in that vent playing with me like that, bro, die immediately.
At first, I didn't run. I just gradually stepped backwards with my mouth hung open, looking at the vents. The person's hands gripped the vent and started shaking it aggressively, obviously trying to break it open. I screamed, "I'm calling the cops," but the shaking didn't stop. I did what I said. I called the cops and told them to send someone right away. The operator told me to go to a room upstairs with a weapon, lock the door, and hide.
See that?
I was the most scared I'd ever been in my entire life. And the pain and fear of the situation only became worse when I heard a door bust open downstairs, and I could hear a maniac screaming at the top of his lungs. I'm not lying when I said he was screaming things like, "Where are you? I'm gonna kill you." I heard him run up the stairs. He probably ran up 2 stairs for every step, because he was up the stairs in like 3 seconds. My heart was in my throat when he tried the doorknob to the door, and started pounding on it so hard I could see the door caving in a little bit. I thought he was actually gonna break the door down. I had to climb out the window or I'd be a goner. I think he heard me though, because the banging stopped. I jumped from the window to the bushes below, and with the right stroke of luck, a cop car pulled up in front of my house. I basically ran into the officers' arms, begging them to go inside and get the man. They told me to wait in the police car, which they locked, while they both went inside the house with their guns drawn. Not even 5 minutes later, the 2 officers came out and they were holding the man in cuffs. The man in cuffs took my place in the back seat of the cop car, and from that moment until the cops drove away, he was giving me the most evil, hate-filled stare you could ever imagine. That stare still haunts me, The whole experience still haunts me. I still hang out in the basement occasionally, but nowhere near as much.
That was actually scary. It's your boy Big Ace 2112, man. I hope y'all have a blessed day, man. Peace. Now.